So you've got a solid trading plan, you know your setups like the back of your hand, but when you check your account, it's still bleeding. What gives? You've probably been told it's bad discipline or a flawed strategy, but that's not the full story. The truth is, your plan is probably fine. The real problem isn't the strategy, it's the 5 psychological glitches that hijack your brain the second you're under pressure. These are the execution errors that turn your best ideas into your worst trades, and today we're dragging all 5 into the light. Let's be real. There's a huge gap between having a good trading idea and getting a good trading outcome. That space in between is called execution. And that's where most traders, even the brilliant ones, lose the game. You can have a PhD in chart patterns, but if you can't control your mouse clicks when your heart is pounding, none of it matters. This isn't another video about a magic indicator or a can't lose setup. This is about the heat of the moment, when your P&L is flashing red and green and your stomach is in knots. Too many traders spend years hunting for a new system, thinking their old one is broken, but the uncomfortable truth is that most strategies don't fail. Traders fail to execute them. Today we're going way past the surface level advice. We're going to diagnose the specific, high-pressure mistakes that are quietly wrecking your account. We'll show you what's happening, explain the psychology behind why it's happening, and give you a concrete fix for each one. Because mastering trading isn't about finding the perfect strategy, it's about mastering yourself. Error number 1. The premature exit. This is the habit of cutting your winners short. You're in a great trade. It's moving your way, the green numbers are climbing, and you feel that rush. But right behind it, anxiety creeps in. Your mind starts spinning. What if it reverses? What if I give it all back? You see one tiny pullback, your heart leaps into your throat, and you slam the close button, locking in a small, safe profit. Moments later, you watch in agony as the trade screams to your original price target, leaving a mountain of profits on the table. Sound familiar? This isn't just bad luck, it's a systematic profit killer. The why? This is driven by a powerful cognitive bias called loss aversion. Research by Nobel laureates Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky showed that the pain of a loss feels roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of an equal gain. Once you have an open profit, your brain stops seeing it as a potential gain. It reframes it as something you already own and could lose. Your brain is yelling, protect it, get out before it vanishes. It feels like the smart, safe move, but it's a psychological trap. You're no longer managing the trade, you're managing your anxiety. By cutting your winners short, you are destroying the core math of any profitable system, which depends on your winners being much larger than your losers. The solution: you can't trust your feelings mid-trade, you have to trust your process. The solution is to pre-commit to your exit plan before you even enter the trade. This means defining in writing exactly where you'll take profit based on objective market structure, not your fluctuating P&L. Is it the next resistance zone, a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio? Whatever it is, define it when you're calm. Then, automate it. The moment you enter, place a one cancels the other OCO order with both your stop loss and your take profit target. This takes your emotional self out of the equation. Let the trade play out. This takes confidence, which is why backtesting your plan is so critical. You need to trust your edge over hundreds of trades, not just the outcome of this one. Error number 2, the hopeful hold. This is the evil twin of cutting winners short. A trade moves against you. It blows past where your mental stop was, but you freeze. It'll probably bounce back, you whisper. It drops more. Now the loss is bigger than you planned for. You move your stop loss down, just to give it room to breathe. Maybe you even average down, throwing good money after bad. You're no longer trading. You're just holding on and hoping to get back to even. This single error has blown up more accounts than any other. The why? This is a nasty cocktail of the sunk cost fallacy and your ego's desperate need to be right. The second you enter a trade, you're invested, financially and emotionally. Taking a loss feels like admitting you were wrong, a direct hit to your identity as a smart trader. To dodge that psychological pain, you start denying reality. You tell yourself the famous lie, it's not a loss until I sell. This irrational hope is more comforting than the sharp, definite pain of accepting a mistake. This is prospect theory in action. When faced with a guaranteed loss, people suddenly become risk seekers, willing to gamble on a long shot rather than take a small, controlled hit. The solution: you have to change what a stop loss means to you. A stop loss is not an admission of failure. It is not a fine. A stop loss is a business expense, plain and simple. It's the cost of doing business in a world of uncertainty. The goal isn't to avoid all losses, it's to make sure they're never catastrophic. The fix is brutally simple and non-negotiable. Use a hard stop loss on every single trade. The moment your entry order is filled, your exit order for a loss is already in the market. No debating, no second guessing, and absolutely no moving it further away. Your stop loss is your get out of jail card. It protects your capital so you can show up and trade tomorrow. Error number 3, the revenge trade. You just took a loss. You feel that hot flash of anger. you feel like the market cheated you. Your brain starts screaming, "I have to make that money back, right now." You junk your plan, jump back into the market impulsively, and force another trade, often with a bigger size, on a setup that isn't even there. This is revenge trading, and it's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It almost always leads to a second bigger loss. The why. This is a textbook amygdala hijack. When you take a loss, your brain can perceive it as a threat, triggering a primal fight or flight response. Your amygdala, the brain's ancient fear center, takes the controls. It floods your system with stress hormones, and your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, reason, and self-control, goes completely offline. You're no longer a trader analyzing probabilities. You're an emotional animal trying to fight the market to get relief from the pain of losing. The goal isn't to make a good trade. The goal is to do something because taking action feels better than sitting with the powerless feeling of a loss. This isn't a character flaw, it's a neurological glitch. The solution: you can't outthink an amygdala hijack while it's happening. You need a circuit breaker. The solution is to implement a mandatory cooling off period after a loss. After any single loss greater than 1 hour, or after 2 losses in a row, I close my platform and walk away for 30 minutes. No exceptions. This forced break gives the stress hormones time to recede and allows your rational brain to come back online. When you return, you can analyze what went wrong, reset, and wait for the next real opportunity. If this is helping you see your trading more clearly, subscribe. My goal is to help traders build execution they can actually trust under pressure. Error 4, the FOMO entry. You've been patiently stalking a chart, waiting for a pullback to your sweet spot, but it never comes. Instead, the price just takes off like a rocket without you. You watch green candle after green candle, and a sick feeling grows in your stomach, the fear of missing out. I'm missing the move of the day. You can't take it anymore. You toss your rules in the trash and chase it, buying at a terrible price, usually right as the smart money who got in early is starting to sell. The why? FOMO is driven by regret and social comparison. We're wired to feel anxiety when we think others are having a rewarding experience without us. In trading, this means watching a price run and picturing other traders cashing in, making you feel like you're being left behind. Your brain is no longer thinking about risk to reward, it's just trying to silence the pain of regret. You're not acting according to a plan, you're reacting to price, to fear, and to your own impatience. The solution: adopt a mindset of abundance. You have to truly accept that you will never catch every move, and that's okay. Trading is a marathon of thousands of trades, not a sprint to catch one. You must internalize this belief. There is always another bus. There are literally thousands of opportunities every single week. Missing one, even a big one, is statistically meaningless to your long-term success. The practical fix is an ironclad rule: no setup, no trade. If the price doesn't come to your predefined level and give you your entry signal, you don't click the mouse. Period. It is always better to miss a good trade than to take a bad one. Let it go. Congratulate the traders who caught it, and calmly wait for the next setup that fits your plan. Finally, error 5, the overleverage after a win. You're on a hot streak. 3, 4, 5 winners in a row. You feel like Midas. The market seems obvious, your analysis flawless. You start thinking, I'm in the zone, I've finally figured this out. For your next trade, you decide to press your bets. You double or triple your normal position size, convinced this is a sure thing. Then, the market reminds you who's boss. That one oversized trade erases your entire winning streak. The why? This is the overconfidence bias at work. A string of wins floods your brain with dopamine, a reward chemical that feels fantastic and makes you want more. You start attributing all of your success to your genius skill, while totally downplaying the role of luck or just favorable market conditions. Your ego takes the wheel, and your perception of risk becomes completely distorted. That feeling of being invincible is intoxicating, but it's a dangerous illusion. Your brain is no longer objectively assessing risk. It's just chasing the next dopamine hit. This leads you to break your most sacred rule: consistent risk management. For some, this is even a form of self-sabotage, unconsciously taking reckless action to return to a state of struggle. The solution: the antidote to euphoria is boring, mechanical consistency. A winning streak isn't proof of mastery, it's a test of your discipline. The solution is to risk a fixed, consistent percentage of your account on every single trade, no matter what happened on the last one. Whether you've had 10 wins or 10 losses, your risk on the next trade stays the same, typically 1% of your account balance. Your position size should only grow gradually as your account grows, not because you feel hot. Never increase your risk during a winning streak. Treat every single trade like a statistically independent event. The market doesn't know you just won 5 times in a row, and neither should you. True professionals don't find pride in big, flashy wins. They find it in flawless, boring, and consistent execution. So let's recap: cutting winners short, letting losers run, revenge trading, chasing FOMO entries, and getting arrogant after a win. See the pattern? None of these are strategy problems. They are all predictable, universal human brain problems. They aren't signs that you're a bad trader, they're just proof that you're human. The traders who make it aren't the ones who don't feel these emotions. They are the ones who have built systems, rules, and mindsets to make sure those emotions don't get to drive. The path to consistent profitability isn't about finding a secret indicator. It's about taking a long, honest look in the mirror. It's about understanding your personal triggers and building a fortress of discipline around them. Mastering execution isn't about finding the perfect strategy, it's about mastering yourself. All right, your turn. Let's be honest in the comments below. Which of these 5 execution errors has cost you the most? Share your story. Reading each other's experiences is how we all learn we're not alone in this fight. Trade with a plan, not a prediction. Trade smart. I'll see you in the next one.